everybody, my name is Farmer Phil, and in today's video I'm back from holidays. Before we get any further into this video, for anyone who is interested in getting a Farmer Phil hoodie for Christmas, head over into the Stewart Family Farm website description. There'll be a link in the description. Head to it and get your hoodie pre-ordered to try and make sure that we meet every demand, because we always end up with too many of this size and maybe not enough that size. It is closing soon to make sure we can have everyone's hoodie for Christmas. Head over into the description and get your hoodie pre-ordered now. Don't be disappointed. The Beet Harvester is in the shed for some minor repairs before we go back on the campaign pulling beet. The other problem I have is the shed is not long enough this way for me to back the Beet Harvester and tractor all the way in, so I have to separate it from the tractor. That's a pain in the hool because its pipes are tightened on rather than quick releases, and also the levers. So yeah, give me 20 minutes, we'll get her stripped off. And that is us off. It only took me a bit more than 20 minutes. It's a slow bloody job. What is wrong with the Beet Harvester? Why is it in the shed? Well, there's three things so far. Could find more while we're at it. Firstly, I have a hole in my hopper. That needs a bit of patchwork, put back together. The last two hopper load of beet, I pulled the bit that was there, broke off. It's any of the small beet is coming through it, or when I fill to a certain height, starts letting beet out. The biggest job of them all to be done is the bearing just here is gone. Now, Father Phil might change both bearings, but he's gone to town to get a bearing to replace that. So after the hopper went, and we said, right, we'll just give it a bit of a check over. That bearing is gone. It has said goodbye. So we've taken that off. Not simple, so Father Phil says. We've take tension off, we've take belt off, open her up, take the chain off, then you take the gear off, and then you drop her down. Finally, we're going to put on something that is missing from here. There should be a piece comes out of this and then goes back that way. So the leaves, which if you can imagine are coming out here, and they literally fall, and currently they fall down, and then you drive across them in your next run. There should be a piece here which diverts the leaves that way, so that on your next run you don't drive across the leaves that you've cut, so that you're able to graze the leaves more efficiently afterward. One of our farmers wants to graze the beet tops, so we got to put this back on, and that's my next job, is to go to the field where this was cut off the harvester and pull it out the back of a hedge, because yes, that's where they left it. Back in 2015, when we lost 5 acres of beet, you can go back, check out that video, it's there. We cut maize with, or we cut the bolters of the beet with the maize harvester just to clear them off the field. Father Phil said they took it off because they're having issues with the long stalks jamming and not falling down through it, so they took it off. Miserable outside. Me and Liv are just back from America. Today's the first day back. I'm quite tired. I had 4 hours of sleep on the plane ish. And yeah, we left Ireland and it was still kind of hanging on to the autumn. We come back, it is cold. I have the bit that I got from the field. It was a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be, and I'm surprised I managed to get in by myself. I have the stove going, so just keep an eye on that she stays going and it's just set right. It's one of the first light ups of the year. I think Lee might have lit it while I was away. Has there been much done on anything else? Well, Lee actually had the 99 in and I took it out to put on the Beet Harvester because that's more important at the minute. I don't know how I work outside in the rain. Also, the bit that's here, this long bar, I am pretty sure is for taking out the Dynashift pack. In that, hopefully, half an hour and the workshop should start to take the chill off it. Father Phil has arrived with the bearings. So 30mm bearing, so new one or a new insert, depending on which one he has decided he's going inside to. So it's me, myself and I. So have to slacken all this, get ready to take this off. And you may be wondering, why didn't you wash the Beet Harvester? Well, because the only power washer that's currently working is over here. If I washed the Beet Harvester here, Mother would have killed me. If I brought it in, Father would kill me because he doesn't like seeing that one inside. And also when I tried giving it, I was just trying to give it a quick wash in there as I was working, just for handiness sake. And the bloody yoke, could I get it to stay running? No. Was I going to stand in the rain and try and fix the thing? No. But anyways, we get cracking. So take the tension off chain, take the tension off the belt, take the scraper away from there, and that's the start anyways. We're up at the top of the spinny thing. Pump is here, drives the chains, drives the 2 belts, drives the knives, drives all of this up. So I need to loosen the tension off this, take chain off even though it's not. I just got it very tight. I got 3 tensioners, one here, one for this, one for that, taking off this. I'm also looking, here's the keyway there, which I will have to try and get knocked out to pop that off. And then the tensioner, there's another tensioner in on the bottom end of the shaft, which that's actually loose at the minute. I think if I take the tension off this one here, that should give me the slack then to pull that off. Right. Oh, it's loose. Well, not loose, but it's not seized. I was afraid that might have been seized. It's not seized. Life is a good. Why am I not using power tools? Because the shaft there is about that long. I don't have a socket that's a 19 that's that long. Right, I'm going to have to go find myself a hammer.
Look how they shine, looking at them. Though you're not allowed to feed them. Their lifestyle's got them by the mouth. Line and sinker, dragging them down, down. But they won't get away. Can I get out of their head?
We have it off now. Release the tension on the bottom. Open up the bolts, fall off, belt off. That seems pretty decent. If you're wondering how the tension works, there's wee holes top and bottom there, so you put your bolts in, which holds the bearing, holds the shaft, and then these laddings here, there, and there, they pull the bearing housing up and down to tighten the shaft. So get down out here now. Oi! Oh, it's a dumbbell. So now, if there was cleaned up the bench after themselves, that have space, but whenever. Space for the camera. I think I was supposed to take it off fully. That's kind of what I gathered from what he said to me. Keyway here, and put the shaft down. Really the only way of doing this, because otherwise these hardware's taken off the pulley end and then put back on the pulley, and it didn't tighten properly, and the pulley starts running down the shaft. You can see the wobble in the bearing there to its compadre. You can see inside the bearing there. I get Father Phil check and see what he thinks. This one you can move on the shaft. You see what Father Phil says after tea. And after that then it's just a welding game. Go get some tea and then we'll see what Father Phil says. Instructions on what to do next. So I've take the keyway out of the gear, which is just in there, clean it out, take it out. Then hammer the gear down. So then the keyway comes out. Sorry, that's a grub screw. That's the keyway. So the keyway comes out. Then just make sure it's all clean and sanded. That goes that way. Clean and sand. That goes that way. And then this, apart from that, that may not move, that terrible handle. I think that's a grub screw too. But that hole needs to be sanded down, so that hole will shift that way nicely. I'm going to plan. That's it off. Oh. First bearing off. Don't think it will be long enough for the bottom bearing. We have the bearing left on top of the stove to heat. Father Phil is just gone with the other one to go on now. Step in between the tractor. So, metal expands when it's heated, so you heat the bearing and then that expands and makes that little bit bigger. When it cools down then it will tighten on the shaft. Changing the bearing out of the other housing, so Father Phil was trying to explain.
Just tracking them or popping them out. See, it's covered up with grease.
You can just see it there, where there's a check or a bit going out with the bevel.
Correct. On another side.
So then that just slides in and out of. Pair we have is won't fit. Bring that back and get a new.
Bring that back and get another plumber block with a 30 mil bear, and then that's it. Top it down on it. Go back up on it.
Fire it into it.
Best job.
So we have this. Put this on next, and also there's the hole patch in the front of the hopper.
That's a bit flat plate. Are we any flat plate?
Shriven strips.
Get out that board, and we'll cut a square, nice square plate to put into it. Put a few spots on it and put the bolt through it again, and inside it'll keep all that together.
Yeah.
But you want to get in and cut that bit.
The stair off it.
Out.
So that's just from the beat hitting it.
Big bit, that's that.
Yeah.
Actually, come with somebody here, me went in before there. Where was they working for? Gary's or somewhere. Oh, I had to put that strap in her. That was an older hydraulic harvester, because the last of the hydraulic harvesters had bars in them up to about here.
Oh, right.
So the whole
bottom of it was bars.
The far side of it was bars. So there was nothing that could hold dirt.
Dirt, yes.
Yes, dirt.
Whereas that just has the small few bars on the
Very
bottom.
bottom.
It is the next morning and jet lag is absolutely killing me. We were 6 hours behind in Nashville, so it was or six to 5 hours behind. 5 hours in Washington, 6 hours in Nashville, so way out kilter. Anyways, Father Phil has the bearing on. He had put in the bearing the wrong way around in the, what do you call it?
In the plumber block.
In the plumber block, and then realising just what to put on. So my job now is put that up there, line it up, because they might have to be set up or down the shaft to get them right, then tighten the grub screws onto keep the bearing tight on the shaft, and then put the gear on top. Father Phil's just working on the piece for the front.
Show your face, you're the party girl. Show your face, you're the party girl. Oh, show your face, you're the party girl. Show your face, you're the
I
party
have the
girl.
pulley back on there, but it's about that much lower than the other pulley, so Father Phil went to push in while I was putting it on, so wait for him to come back in just to see. Because the reason you don't touch the pulley is the pulley's made of cast. You can't hit cast, or cast shatters and breaks. So I'm pretty sure I can't just go with the lump hammer and try and knock it up. So just have to see what he says. Jet lagged out of my mind. It's very disorientating. It's more disorientating than I remember being last year when we came back from Mexico. Last night, hit the bed, fell asleep, woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning, not a bit of me to go back to sleep, just out of kilter. Took 3 days to settle into it when we were over there. It'd take 3 days probably when we're back. But just for anyone who's going to Nashville, that's where we went this year in America, in Tennessee. Amazing spot, but we didn't fly direct to it. We flew to Washington, Jules, hired a car, and then drove the 800 and well, it's actually less. We were going the long way around. It's a 9.5 hour drive, but we done 13 hours on the way to, and then 14 hours on the way back, because we didn't go the most direct route. We went, drove the interstate for a bit, turned off, drove around the countryside, back on the interstate, and done that 2 or 3 times on the way down. On the way back, then we went for Blowing Rocks in North Carolina and stayed there, and then drove up back by Richmond just to see more of the countryside. Amazing countryside. Couldn't highly recommend it enough to anyone who is going to Nashville. Look into flying to Washington, hiring a car and driving there. Couldn't imagine just flying straight to Nashville. The reason we looked into it was purely we looked at flights to Nashville, and it was like 1,200 quid each, and the flights to Washington, when we looked at them, were 250 quid each return. We paid more for that because we didn't book it the first time we seen it, but super cheap. Car hire, super cheap. We had a Ford Mustang for 500 quid. You can get a car less than that. Economy cars €270. I said I wanted to drive. Well, actually, it's a Dodge Challenger, similar, but when we got there, we got to pick a Mustang. So I just said I paid extra bit to be able to drive something that I wouldn't be able to drive here. Fuel is cheap, food is expensive, but just the scenery on the way down along the Appalachian Mountains and then into Smoky and through Gatlinburg. Stayed there for a couple of days and then back along the Blue Ridge. Some experience. We definitely want to go back and do another road trip. Next time we go back, it's either going to be the Florida Keys or Montana, Wyoming. that direction, which is a long drive from Washington. It's 36 hours when we looked at. But next year's holidays to New Zealand, go see Rory and Kate, so that's going to be fun. But maybe the year after, who knows? We'll get that far first, but yeah. Here by myself now, Father Phil has decided, well, he has work to do. He's gone off to roll wheat for a customer, so mill wheat, crush it. So he's a good bit of that on, and he's left me by myself to finish this off. So we just have the pulley lined up. So we have it lined up, grub screws in, so it should be tight on the shaft. Next thing now is put on, line up the gear, hammer it down, line it up, put back on the chain, put back on the cover. We're finished there. Then I have to move on to my bits of steel and this bit of steel here. This is going to be difficult. I was hoping he'd give me a hand before he left. He didn't. So it's going to be a struggle, that one. Anyways, whatever. Yeah, I go up there with the lump hammer, put back on my gloves. The reason I'm wearing gloves is the last time, it was actually when we were at in there, the whole old grease is damnable stuff and live up the head of me because my hands were literally black and I could not get it scrubbed off. That grease up there is the very same as that, so that's why I'm wearing gloves. Keep domestic peace. So, anyways, we go up and we'll put that back together. It's sweating me now. Workshop is warm enough. Probably take off the overalls now. So that's back together, all back in, tightened. I think I've ever done. I'll try and go through. I went through it about 3 times, making sure. So next up is I have to get into, turn around the bin, and you'll see there where there's the 3 bolt holes. I need to take them off, maybe again with lump hammer them back in. I was hoping Father Phil would be here to give me a hand because there are nuts and bolts. So I need to put my hand on the outside, which easy enough now with the hole in it. But when I go to put on the panel, not going to be too simple, but we will figure it out. I've spent the last 20 minutes trying to open them. I just can't. I can't be in 2 places at once. Now I'm going to try the next 2-person job by myself. Should get it in this far, but I cannot see myself lifting it into place. Rate my chances. How much do you think? How do you think I'm going to get on lifting that? There's a bar on it, and it just slides into this. These 2 laddies here, I see solid. They're supposed to clamp this into place. So you can adjust this here based on how the leaves are coming out here to push the leaves past the wheel on this side. Or it actually puts it behind the wheel on this side. So in your next run, you're not driving across the leaves that you're just after cutting. Put your bets on now. How much of a power is there in here? Oh. I'd have had it on there. Only if our bar here is in my way. Now. Yeah! 3rd time lucky. Oh! So close. So close. Ah! Not happening now without help. There's nothing bigger than that I could put down. That will give me the height that I need to tilt it to get it square to go in there. It's just not happening. So, one of the 3 things needed done in today's video. This video was supposed to have been made, so in other words, we were supposed to have the Beet Harvester fixed, ready to go before I went on holiday, so when I came back, I could go straight into pulling beet. I didn't have the time to get it in here before we left. Too many other loose ends. Now I got all my other loose ends tidied. This was the one thing, and this was the video that you're watching today of this now should have been made before we went with this being finished. My editor is just after arriving to take this video, and this video is currently filming the finishing scene at 4:30, and hopefully by 6:30 the first year sitting down to watch this. And that's about 60%. More than half of the videos that I'm putting up are probably like this. What would you say, Liv?
Recently, yeah.
Recently. Sometimes during the year, it's a doddle. It's handy enough to make 3 videos a week. Sometimes it's a pain. And I always, when I'm away, I'm always trying to make sure I get all done. And I had all done, and this is just the one thing I didn't get done. Never like leaving a video unfinished, but this is first job when we get back was to get this done. This was the job I didn't get done. This is the job I needed to get done. Not only to film, but because I need to go get at the beat. I'm sweating pigs after trying to get that on. You could actually help me. Will you give me a hand?
I couldn't even lift out the back of the gator.
Okay. I'll get this finished when Lee comes, whether he's here later today or whether he's coming tomorrow, I'm not just sure. He'll give me a hand. Father Phil, he's gone rolling now. I don't know when he's going to be back. He's a full day's rolling tomorrow, so I won't be able to collar him tomorrow. So it leaves me Thursday to get it finished. But if Lee's here, me and Lee'll get that whacked over in an hour. Yeah, just left high and dry. Just frustrated. Always frustrates me when I can't finish a video or do things don't go as I plan. Much as I like to try and plan out, this is the video, this is how I want it to go, this is what I want to do in the video. A lot of the time, just never goes how I want. Next video will not be finishing this off. It will be going straight out to the field to pull beet, and you will see what that contraption at the back does. And you'll see there won't be a hole in the front of that there. And we'll be back running again. We want to get it wrapped up before December. So there's probably a good 20 acres to be pulled. So between ourselves and 2 other customers to just finish the whole lot while I get done before December. So about 20 acres. I'll average about 4 acres a day. So it's about 5 days pulling to get everything done. I'll leave it at that today for today's video. Frustrating. But we're back from holidays and just trying to get back into it. And now I have to go try and catch up on the work that wasn't done while we were away. Every time you go away, it's a rush to get jobs done before you go, and then when you get back, it's trying to catch up on all the things that didn't get done while you're away. Look, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have any comments, anything like that, let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to leave it at that. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. Also, if you want to get yourself a hoodie for Christmas, pre-orders end very soon. So please head in the description, head to Stewart Family Farm Longford. You'll be able to pre-order your hoodie in the size you want. We're doing pre-orders to try and make sure that we meet demand, because we can never get it right. We always end up with too many of this size and not enough of them sizes. So the easiest is pre-order. So if you want it, get pre-ordered. Make sure you get it done soon, because when they're gone, they're gone. Is to make sure we try and keep everybody happy. So anyways, that's it from me. Good luck.